Everybody, happy 4th of July. Ronnie Rance alongside Tommy Krysan on this Independence Day edition of Sports Shorts Daily. Hope everyone's having a happy and safe 4th of July. Rocking the new Rougarou jerseys that the Rougarou are going to be wearing tonight, celebrating the 4th of July. The Baton Rouge
Those
Rougarou, the
look
hottest
sharp.
team in summer collegiate baseball, 22-4. TK, you can get this jersey. Go to brrougarou.com. You can also, we have a player auction. So we've got 30 players wearing these jerseys tonight. You can bid on those jerseys. The proceeds go to charity and to a nonprofit, Baton Rouge Youth Baseball Coalition. And so we've got these for sale, really, really sharp. And we got, we sold out of the extra hats that we had. We didn't have a whole ton, but we sold out of those last night at the ball game. But we do have some jerseys left as well. By the way, the Rougarou play at 7 o'clock tonight at Pete Osby Field, downtown by Memorial Stadium. Fireworks during the seventh inning stretch will stop the game, do a 4th of July fireworks show, so you don't want to miss it. Bring the family out. Going to be a great night for baseball. The Rougarou win again last night. Of course, as I mentioned, 22-4. They've played 26 games, had one rain out. That's 27 games that are on the schedule. That means they have 27 games played.
21.
21 games left. 21 games
And,
left on the
and
schedule. 14
14
if
of
they're
those are
home.
home. I got a question for you. What's with this number 47 on your Rube jersey? I mean, couldn't you get a number 89, which is the score you shot with the bet with Casey? I mean, you should have had an 89 on there, and like they took a picture with Casey.
Tommy, you were thinking way too much, but yeah, that's a great idea. I should have. I could have 80, also 89 the score I shot at the old course in Scotland the first time I played it. Shot at 85 the second time I played it. But let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the world of sports. How about Tommy, Donald J. Trump this morning? This year starts the 250th year of our country's independence. And Donald J. Trump, our president, said that he wants to have special events all year long at our country's battlefields, historic sites, all that sorts of things, including, hey, he thinks it'd be a pretty good idea to have a UFC fight on the White House grounds, 20 to 25,000 people on the White House grounds. He said, we got plenty of room. Why not? To have a UFC fight out here. Hey, listen, let me tell you something. If Dana White has a chance of making that happen and Donald J. Trump's saying that, it will happen because that would be unbelievable backdrop for a UFC fight to have it on the White House grounds. And can you imagine? I mean, the Democrats will lose their mind if there is a UFC fight on the White House grounds. I don't. I know they want it to happen. I know Dana White's obviously going to want it to happen. It's the greatest thing ever for the UFC. I gotta believe security concerns and all that are going to win out.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if that happens. I'm not going to say it won't happen, because I mean, it's we don't need to get into the whole political thing, but Trump's a businessman more than a politician, and he's basically said, "Hey, we can and will run this country like a business." And obviously, a lot of people voted for him. A lot of people like what he's doing. Some don't. It is what it is. But that'd be fun to see UFC fighting uh, at the White House. That'd be quite the story.
By the way, speaking of the UFC, it'll be in New Orleans on July 19th, Saturday, July 19th, 2 weeks from tomorrow. So we're 15 days away from Dustin Poirier out of the Lafayette area making his final fight ever. Going to lay the gloves down in the ring. That's the plan. And there'll be a big crowd at the Smoothie King Center and the arena in New Orleans. There are seats available. Get your tickets now, ticketmaster.com. Obviously, I will be there. Going to be a big crowd. And speaking of Trump, wouldn't be shocked if he made an appearance. That he's been known to do that at UFC fights, and of course, he would be highly supported. Louisiana voted for him. That crowd is a Trump supporter crowd, and so our governor is they're friends, and so there's a good chance that and the governor will be there. So I kind of almost expect Trump to show up at the arena on
Well,
July the 19th.
you got to get a pick with him. Ask him if he can slide up here on the 20th and throw out a pitch at the Rougarou game.
That would be a good idea. I like that idea. But that's not going to happen. But I would love that
No,
idea.
that won't happen. But yeah, we can say we tried. I mean, heck,
A pick that did happen yesterday was Gail Benson with Alex Bregman. Did you see that?
I did not. What happened?
So Gail Benson parked her yacht, her super yacht, in Boston Harbor, and Alex Bregman and his wife were guests of hers on her boat, and they took a picture. Alex Bregman presented her with a signed Boston Red Sox Bregman jersey, and they posted that on social media.
I didn't see that. That's pretty cool. Real cool, as a matter of fact. For Alex Bregman and for Gail Benson, I guess. But hey, good deal.
Falcons are not the only team with a super yacht that their owner has a super yacht. Gail Benson does too. Um, the Speaking of the big leagues, All Star game around the corner will be in not this week coming up, but next week. We'll be in Atlanta. And at the same time will be SEC Media Days. So, look for all the videos of all the SEC media people going to the All-Star game, and you'll get some cool coverage there, especially since a couple LSU players, Gage Jump, Tommy White, are in the Futures game. I would imagine some folks are going to make their way over the Futures game. You'll see them involved in that. But this Austin Nola story is incredible. Aaron Nola, it was, obviously he's on the shelf right now with the Philadelphia Phillies. And I've got a friend of mine who's a huge Philadelphia Phillies fan. He lives in Philadelphia, spends half his time there, half his time in Miami. There's a lot of talk that is this the end for Aaron Nola? He didn't look good before he went, he was getting banged around before they put him on the shelf. The guy has, been a professional pitcher for over 10 years. So, I mean, at some point, the arm goes, the body goes, the stuff goes for everybody. Doesn't matter who you are. And, some sooner than later and all that. So could this be the end of Aaron Nola? But Austin Nola, his brother, just got called up to the big leagues again, right, Tommy?
Yeah, he played for the Colorado Rockies yesterday. He got his first at bats in the big league since 2023. Okay, he was with the Padres back then, but he's kept grinding in AAA for the Rockies, and he got called up. Went 0 for 3. Did have a sack bunt, but so it was great to see Austin Nola behind the plate. I watched some of that game, then I listened to some of it while going to the Rougarou game. And the radio broadcast for Colorado said Austin has definite intentions of being a big league manager one day. Now he might have to manage in AAA or be a bench coach or a bullpen coach. He'll have to climb the ranks. He's not going to be a manager next year. But I didn't know that about Austin. And a mutual friend of you and I is very close to the Nola family, so I hear a lot about Austin and Aaron that maybe a little bit more than some people do. But no, it's quite the story that Austin, never caught a day at LSU to my recollection. And then when he got in the minors, he was with Miami, and they're like, "Hey, man, if you're a catcher, you're more valuable." And he worked it, and he's caught in the bigs for the Mariners and the Padres, and now with the Colorado Rockies. Now the Rockies are a bad team; they're going nowhere in a hurry. But it was a great story because he's such a good guy, great kid, great family, and we'll have to see how that goes forward for Austin. Now, I read a report the other day. Aaron's close to getting back on the mound. He's been throwing a lot of flat ground. And according to him, everything was going like it was supposed to. But you're right. He got banged around a lot before he went on the IL. And he's got an unbelievable curve when it's working. No question about that. And he can still get 92, 93 out of a good arm side run fastball. So we'll see what happens with that.
The Austin Nola story, remind people, and he came out of high school in 2008 was when he graduated from Catholic High at Baton Rouge. Highly sought after shortstop, a really good hitter, 4-year starter, all the things, big time prospect. got to LSU, ended up being the starting shortstop about a little more than halfway through the year, and then ended up starting at shortstop for 3 years at LSU in 9, 10, and 11. I was in, doing some Blue Wahoo games, a handful of games a year I did back then for CST. He's playing in Double A in Jacksonville at shortstop, and I run, and I did one of his games, and this was about I don't know, maybe a month, less than a month after they converted him from from shortstop to catcher. At some point, he got to Double A, hit a ceiling, and they had too many other guys that they felt were better. He wasn't going to make the big leagues as a shortstop, but they valued him as a person, as a hard worker, as a player, his smarts, and said, "Hey, why don't you give catching a shot here and just see what it can do for you?" And I remember talking to him on the field before the game, like during BP or something. And he had on the shin guards and we're talking. And at that point, I thought to myself, this is the thing they're going to do. Let him finish out the year trying to be a catcher. And then that's going to be the end of his career. Because that happens a lot, by the way. Blair Barbier did the same thing. They moved Blair to catcher at the end and he played a few months and then that was it. And a lot of good players like that are smart guys, good locker room guys, leaders. Before all right, they're not going to make it to the big leagues at one position. Maybe they can play catcher, and that's sort of the thing they try at the very end. And a lot of guys also that are managers or former catchers. So I ended up seeing that, thinking, this is not going to work out. I mean, this is a nice little story. And then and then he caught that game, Tommy, and he didn't look great. He had a pass ball, another one off the glove that he didn't, it just didn't look great, And I thought, okay, well, by the end of the year, probably be done. And then he obviously got better and better and better and got to the big leagues. And then he wasn't in the big leagues. And you thought, okay, well, good story. Got to the big leagues a little bit, got a couple years under his belt. Man, that's incredible. It's so hard to get to the major leagues. Especially harder even when he came up versus what it's going to be now, because there's going to be less minor league levels moving forward. But then for him to get back again after not being in it for 2 years is just incredible. It speaks to the greatness of Austin Nola, of the type of player he is, the willpower to succeed. And hey, I expect he's going to be a heck of a manager. He played high school ball over at Catholic High and played for Maneri and played for a great high school program. Obviously won a national championship, played for a great college program. And I think he's going to end up being a heck of a manager one day. And who knows? Does he want to go coach the college route? Because I guarantee you, Jay Johnson would hire him.
Yeah, it's a great story, and I didn't know this thing about the desire to be a manager, but he was in the Miami organization, Mariners, Padres, Royals briefly, and now Rockies, and he's laying the groundwork to do that because a lot of catchers become big league managers. It's kind of ironic; they're not all been catchers, but because they can see the whole game, they work with pitchers. I mean, it's just a thing. And Austin certainly got them qualities. I remember working with him on the old days when we were all on the David DeLucci camp clinic tour around the South. Aaron and Austin both there. I was part of that. Mike Moeller, a few other people. So looking forward to seeing how that goes. And number one, Austin Nola is a great guy, and I'm sure all these organizations he's been in recognize that right away. And you're right; he's got the baseball IQ. I hope he's a big league manager one day. That'd be awesome to see.
Baton Rouge, Rougarou tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Pete Goolsbee Field. 7 o'clock starts. Oh, by the way, fireworks tonight, 4th of July, of course. We'll auction off these uniforms. Every player jersey is going to be auctioned off for charity. Got a few for sale. We sold out all the extra red, white, and blue Stars and Stripes hats late yesterday. But go check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. 7 o'clock, gates open at 6. Downtown Baton Rouge. Also, Tommy, Saturday, my favorite, Beat the Clock. You can thank Reggie's and Sports Illustrated and Tigerland for that idea. Beat the Clock special from 6 to 6:30. Concessions are all 50% off. That's every Saturday home game And then from 6:30 to 7, they're 25% off. And then on Sunday, we got a 4 for 40 special. 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 drinks, 4 chips, all for only $40. And so all of that at bruguru.com. All right, TK. Speaking of baseball, Kershaw, big story yesterday.
Well, the other night he got his 3,000th punch out. Only the 20th major league pitcher to record 3,000 strikeouts. Only the 4th left-hander, and only the 3rd guy to do it with the same team. He's been a Los Angeles Dodger his entire career. So, and the next up on the list would be Chris Sale or Garrett Cole, but they got a long way to go. So, tip of the hat to Kershaw. It's 3,000 punch out. When you do something that only 20 people out of the 21,000, 22,000 people that have been in the big leagues, when you do something that only 20 people did, and you're one of only 4 lefties to do it, hello Hall of Fame. No question about that.
So he's the 4th left-hander ever. Randy Johnson, the big unit. Steve Carlton, who was probably my favorite pitcher growing up, not named Ron Guidry. And who was the other?
CC Sabathia.
Yeah. So, 4 pitchers all in the modern era. Steve Carlton pitched in the 70s and 80s. I would say that it's going to be less likely that someone gets 3,000 strikeouts moving forward because, one, starters don't go long in the games anymore. They don't like them to go more than about 5 innings or 6 innings. There's a lot of limitations with pitch counts and that sort of thing. And with the specialty relievers and just the amount of money, what's the motivation to play 20, 25 years if you're a billionaire, so I would think that you're not going to see that a whole ton. You mentioned the lefty Chris Sale, 450 plus strikeouts away. He's had some injuries. He's on the tail end of his career. You don't think he's going to get there.
I don't think we're going to see another person get 3,000 strikeouts because of the things you just mentioned about the 5-6 innings and what. Although now it's either strikeout or hit it out the park, so somebody will get some numbers. But when you got Chris Sale and Garrett Cole, Chris Sale needs over 450 more. Garrett Cole needs over 700 to get to 3,000. I think it'd be a safe bet to say it's not going to happen again in the big leagues, and a safer bet to say nobody with the same team would do that. Walter Johnson back in the day, Bob Gibson, Clayton Kershaw, the only ones that only played for one club when they got it. That ain't going to happen again for sure because guys move around so much with the free agency and this, that, and the other. Injuries, boom. So I think we've seen the last one, and you and I were left-handed pitchers. We're not going to get there either.
All right, TK, happy 4th of July to you. I'll see you tonight at the ballpark. Give us a little update on what's going on.
Well, Tremonti's will be open today and tomorrow. You got the last-minute needs, a lot of catering orders, a lot of ball crab orders, a ton of food. They stocked up the meat case, the wine, the bourbon, and all that. Tremonti's is open today and tomorrow, so you can come check them out as normal to get whatever you might need. Side dishes, they got tons of stuffed potatoes in the case. Come on over to Tremonti's on Jefferson Highway in Baton Rouge. Don't forget, we'll see you at the Rougarou game tonight. Happy 4th of July to one and all. We mean that's a big day for lots of reasons. And don't forget to like and share this show. Whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or X, like and share this show. Appreciate it very, very much. Happy 4th of July. By the way, don't forget radio tomorrow morning. Hunter McCann and I will be at Leola's Cafe and Coffee House on Government Street, Mid-City, Baton Rouge. Great place, Leola's Cafe and Coffee House. I went there last month when we did radio there. I was very impressed. So we'll be on the air 10 a.m. to 12 noon, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, Lake Charles, ESPN Radio. So join Hunter McCann and I, Joel Davis, Ronnie Rance will join us on the phone. We'll have some other great stuff for you. That's tomorrow morning. Hey, again, happy 4th of July. Enjoy the weekend, and we will talk to you tomorrow morning on the radio, Monday morning for another episode of Sports Shorts Daily. And don't forget, get out to the Rougarou game tonight, tomorrow night, Sunday night, also Tuesday night. We have 4 more games on this homestand, 14 more home games in the month of July. Want to see you at Pete Goolsbee Field. Happy 4th of